The CSI franchise pushed the boundaries of what a TV police procedural could be when it arrived on our screens at the turn of the 21st century. The original crime scene investigation series and its spin-offs raised the technical aspects of the genre to another level, and purposely cut against classic cop show tropes with their depiction of forensic scientists. The CSI shows are a fascinating look at the scientific side of law enforcement, which derive their thrills from puzzle solving rather than actual law enforcement. The best CSI cases tend to hinge on the ingenious ways in which their teams manage to come up with the forensic evidence they need to identify the perpetrators of crimes and crack difficult cases. That isn't to say these series lack full-throttle action or visually expansive set pieces. On the contrary, even CSI, crime scene investigations' best episodes typically feature their fair share of high-octane moments, despite the original show's reputation as an unashamedly cold and meticulously clinical laboratory drama. CSI in its pomp is a singularly shrewd police drama about a different aspect of detective work from the age-old tropes other TV shows tend to recycle. Whether they are working in Las Vegas, Miami, New York, or Washington, the characters at the heart of this franchise are uniquely fascinating figures of the small screen. 25-inch Turn, CSI, Crime Scene Investigation Season 9, Episode 16. Named after the iconic Bird song used in Forrest Gump and starring Taylor Swift in her first acting role, this episode about a murdered teenager could easily have distracted us from its real purpose. But Lawrence Fishburne ensures that it stays on track as the platform for Dr. Ray Langston to come into his own as a character. 24-inch Nailed, CSI, Miami Season 4, Episode 8. The clever framing device in Nailed allows the different personalities of the CSI team in Miami to shine through. While Ryan Wolf is the center of attention, having sustained the injury referenced in the episode title, it's ultimately Eric Delco who steals the show with his heartwarming response to Ryan's harrowing injury. 23-inch Python, CSI, Cyber Season 2, Episode 8. Cyber might rank the lowest among CSI shows for most fans, but it's hard to deny that Python is a compelling episode of the spin-off on its own terms. While its focus is on what Avery Ryan does best as a behavioral psychologist, the stakes are never higher in the series than her attempt to catch FBI Cyber's top target. 22-inch Ambush, CSI, Miami Season 6, Episode 15. Image via Ron Jaffe. Copyright symbol CBS, courtesy Everett Collection. One of CSI, Miami's most thrilling episodes sees Lieutenant Horatio Caine unexpectedly carted off to Brazil on murder charges in a dizzying plot twist, at the same time as his assistant Callie Duquesne is under threat from a former colleague. Among the busiest stories of the entire franchise, this episode has the lot, from blood and guts to gripping suspense. 21-inch Bloodlines, CSI, Crime Scene Investigation Season 4, Episode 23. A particularly Vegas-themed episode of the original series, Bloodlines investigates the brutal rape of a casino employee, with the entire team of the show's titular laboratory unit called on to find her assailant. As well as putting all the classic CSI tropes to perfect use, the episode is one of the most emotionally affecting in the history of the series. 20 CSI, Trilogy, Bone Voyage, Hammer Down, and The Lost Girls, CSI, Miami Season 8, Episode 7, CSI, New York Season 6, Episode 7, CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, Season 10, Episode 7. This trilogy of 3 CSI crossover episodes made fans of the franchise jump for joy back in 2009. Its story sees Dr. Ray Langston team up with Horatio Caine in Miami and Mac Taylor in New York to solve a human trafficking case. Ray's game of cat and mouse across the country keeps us riveted for over 2 hours. 19-inch The Promise, CSI, Vegas Season 2, Episode 17. There may be a harrowing cold case at its center, but this episode is all about Maxine Roby and her ex Daniel Jordan. The most appealing storyline of CSI, Vegas Season 2 hinges on one crucial scene in The Promise, with actor Paula Newsome's improvised dialogue defining one of the best character-driven plots in the whole CSI franchise. 18-inch Chaos Theory, CSI, Crime Scene Investigation Season 2, Episode 2. An early classic from CSI's original series, Chaos Theory lays out the blueprint for so many inventive plotlines to come. With every case led seemingly resulting in a dead end, Gil Grissom's ingenuity saves the day, proving that sometimes gut instinct and lateral thinking can trump tried and tested scientific method. 17-inch All Fall Down, CSI, Miami Season 8, Episode 24. Bringing the best years of the CSI franchise to a close, CSI, Miami's finest episode features an especially sinister villain, who pushes Horatio Caine and his team right out of their comfort zone. What's more, the episode ends with an all-time great cliffhanger that sets the franchise apart in the police procedural genre. 16-inch Empty Eyes, CSI, Crime Scene Investigation Season 7, Episode 18. Walton Goggins was playing a detective in The Shield when he switched things up for his turn as psychopathic serial killer David Marlon in CSI. His utterly bone-chilling performance steals the show, and gives Gil Grissom, Catherine Willows, and standout character Sarah Seidel one of their most disturbing cases to solve. 15-inch Snow Day, CSI, New York Season 3, Episode 24. The entire CSI, New York cast shines in this seminal season finale, offering up an action-packed story which draws on classic crime genre tropes while gently ramping up the suspense throughout. The terrifying hostage situation Danny Messer and Adam Ross find themselves in sets our hearts racing and adds an extra dimension to the show's typical formula. 14-inch Built to Kill, Parts 1 and 2 CSI, Crime Scene Investigation Season 7, Episodes 1 and 2 image for CBS via Moviestills DB. Featuring an all-time great ending, Built to Kill is among CSI's most nail-biting episodes. It gives actor Marg Helgenberger her moment in the limelight, giving one of her finest performances as Catherine Willows. This double episode also introduces a signature CSI subplot with an ingenious meta aspect to it, the miniature killer who recreates forensic models of her crime scenes. Frame by Frame, CSI, Crime Scene Investigation Season 14, Episode 5. Showcasing CSI's aversion to procedural gimmicks, this episode is the perfect example of D.B. Russell and his team applying science with clinical precision to get the answers they need. It's another story that highlights material analyst Sarah Seidel's importance to the lab, as she makes up for an early mistake with a pivotal breakthrough.